This segment is brought to you by Buick. Exceptional by design.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And as we look for updates about what's happening in Assumption Parish, we turn our attention to Commander Lonnie Cavalier. Commander Lonnie, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Keith, for having us. Good morning.
Absolutely. All right, start us off with our first recent arrest that we had.
Yes, Davion Smith, 25 of 702 East Independence Street in Brookhaven, Mississippi, was arrested on felony stolen firearms charges following a traffic stop on LE 70 near Highway 996. A uniformed patrol K-9 deputy observed a westbound vehicle commit a traffic violation and conducted a stop of that vehicle. The deputy made contact with the driver, now identified as Davion A. Smith, and engaged Smith in an officer violator interview. At the conclusion of that interview, the deputy believed additional investigation was warranted. The deputy utilized a K-9 and conducted an open-air sniff of the suspect vehicle. That process produced a positive alert. The deputy then conducted a search of the suspect vehicle and located a high-powered assault-style rifle with a loaded 30-round magazine clip. Upon conducting a records check on the firearm, it was determined that the rifle had been reported stolen in Lincoln County, Mississippi. Davion A. Smith was arrested and booked into the Assumption Parish Detention Center on charges of illegal possession of a stolen firearm, speeding, and illegal window tint. Davion A. Smith remains incarcerated with his bond set at $75,000.
All right. Thank you, Commander. And tell us a little bit about this recent arrest on Mr. Wilcox.
Thomas M. Wilcox, 64, of 4222 Highway 1 Napoleonville, was arrested on felony charges arising from a suspicious vehicle complaint at a Plottonville wholesale retail outlet. Deputies arrived on scene and located the vehicle in question. Deputies noted a male subject appeared to be sleeping and the truck's engine running. Deputies were able to wake the occupant, who then identified himself as Thomas M. Wilcox. As the deputy interviewed Wilcox, the subject became unruly, and as the deputy attempted to take him into custody, Wilcox forcefully resisted. The deputy was able to restrain and arrest Thomas Wilcox. At the conclusion of the investigation, Thomas Wilcox was arrested and booked into the Assumption Parish Detention Center on charges of possession of alcoholic beverage in a motor vehicle, resisting arrest with force or violence. Thomas M. Wilcox remains incarcerated with his bond set at $25,000.
And now, if you wouldn't mind, give us some updates on Mr. Thomas and also Mr. Littles.
Yes, Kentrell Demond Thomas, 44 of 306 Maple Street, Labradorville, and Leonard Earl Littles, 46 of 3201 Jupiter Drive, Chalmette, Louisiana, were arrested on felony drug charges following a traffic stop on LE1 near LE 1010 south of Napoleonville. A uniformed patrol K-9 deputy observed the vehicle commit a traffic violation and conducted a stop to that vehicle. The deputy made contact with the driver, now identified as Kentrell Demond Thomas, and initiated an officer-driver interview. Thomas was determined to be driving under a suspended driver's license. Kentrell Demond Thomas immediately became argumentative and defensive. The deputy then conducted an interview of the passenger, now identified as Leonard Earl Littles. At the conclusion of those interviews, the deputy believed additional investigation was warranted. The deputy conducted a K-9 open-air sniff of the suspect vehicle, which alerted positive for the presence of controlled dangerous substances. A search of the suspect vehicle resulted in the seizure of suspected methamphetamine. Kentrell Demond Thomas and Leonard Earl Littles were both arrested and booked into the Assumption Parish Detention Center as follows. As to Kentrell Demond Thomas, he was booked on charges of possession with intent to distribute methamphetamine, driving under a suspended driver's license, expired motor vehicle inspection tag, and failure to signal, as well as a fugitive warrant from Lafourche Parish. His bond is presently set at $85,000. Leonard Earl Littles was booked on charges of possession of methamphetamine with intent to distribute an open container law violation. Leonard Earl Littles remains incarcerated with his bond set at $50,000.
And lastly, if you wouldn't mind, tell us a little bit about the recent arrest on Mr. Dyson.
Yes, Christopher P. Dyson, 52 of 2820 Dubose Road, Rain, Louisiana, was arrested on a warrant charging him with failure to appear in court in Assumption Parish on felony drug charges. Christopher P. Dyson was previously arrested in Assumption Parish on charges of possession of methamphetamine. As a result of that arrest, Christopher P. Dyson was ordered to appear in court on March 25th and failed to do so, resulting in a warrant being issued for his arrest on March the 6th. The Assumption Parish Sheriff's Office was notified on April 1st, 2025, that Christopher P. Dyson was in the custody of the Lafayette Parish Sheriff's Office. Christopher P. Dyson was transferred to the custody of the Assumption Parish Sheriff's Office on August 1st and booked into the Assumption Parish Detention Center on charges of failure to appear in court in Assumption Parish on March 5th, 2025, on account of possession of methamphetamine. Christopher P. Dyson remains incarcerated pending a bond hearing.
Oh, Commander, I appreciate that. It's a lot of information very, very quickly. And as we transition over from the summertime into school starting, we certainly want to wish everybody over in Assumption Parish a safe start to school and hopefully less arrests.
We appreciate that, and we're definitely watching the school activities today and tomorrow and see how it starts out.
We appreciate it. Commander, thanks for all your time and all the hard work of everybody there at Assumption Parish Sheriff's Office.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having us.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, that'll do it for this particular segment, but don't go anywhere. I got a whole lot more right here on Bayou Time.
This segment was brought to you by Buick. Exceptional by design.